And so, what was I? I was still young then. I'm trying to get it to where I could remember, I could remember the times and the placement. So we ended up having to move. I was still young. I think we was probably on Glen Way. Nope, we had moved in order for us to have. We went to Auntie Sharon's. I don't know, but anyway, jumping in, we on 104th in Normandy. We going to Washington Preparatory High School. Nene come out here. Now this is when the shit really hit the fan. Nene is Uncle Stanley's daughter. His long lost daughter that was a while ago. I guess he wasn't claiming or whatnot. No, he always claimed that she just never came out here to be one of our cousins like that. I remember Nene coming out here. Now she was from New Jersey. She was a little hotter than I was, cause I was sheltered in, getting abused and shit. But when Nene hit the fan, she fought back. You know what I'm saying? She was a fighter. Auntie Deborah whipped the shit out of me, cause I didn't want to jump in and get my eye black by Nene to whoop her ass while she was getting it. While Auntie Deborah was getting smacked down. Now, when Nene did came out here, now we are in high school. We're going to Washington Preparatory High. Uncle Stanley always lived outside in his camper. That's just always his lifestyle. Sometimes he'd come in the house and things like that. I remember getting a whipping from Uncle Stanley. I used to go in Uncle Stanley camper and take his crack. And Auntie Deborah, she knew, because she would send me in there, see what I could get. But I always, I was looking for weed. Because me and the kids, we was like third grade, hiding behind the bungalows. And while we behind the bungalows, we'd roll up some weed and paper. I don't know who kid it was, but shit, they showed us, and we'll go off and play like we just the highest niggas alive. And we wasn't really getting high, because nigga, we smoking it through paper, and we had to smoke it quick because the paper would fall apart and the weed would fall down. But in the process of getting paper, I used to just take whatever I could out of Uncle Stanley camper, because he always had it sitting on the table, and he always had his little rocks, right? And Auntie Deborah, I remember, I got this from Uncle Stanley or something. I don't remember. I don't remember her telling me to go. I don't know if she was telling me to go in there, or if I ended up telling on myself, or if she found me with it. But whatever the case may be, she used to take the crack from me, go to the crossroads, meet her cousin or her daughter, and I guess they was doing primos and shit. And I remember Auntie Deborah beat my ass so bad one day on Glenway Drive. This when I was young. She hit me with the stick. My eye was hanging out. I was hanging on by a string. You heard what I'm saying? I'm talking about beat. I was beat the fuck up. She didn't want none of the family to see me. I didn't go to school. She took me out of town and tried to heal me up at Drew House. They had a daughter. I think they was like a gay couple, and they had like a daughter or whatnot. And she always had the best lip gloss and shit. I remember stealing some of her lip glosses and stuff like that. But when I was there, I kind of felt safe. She had, I don't know if gay people was just different, but the lady was so nice. I had these little best friend bracelets. I ended up giving one of the girls the best friend bracelets because she was helping me out and with my eye. And, that was the first time I ever had a black and mild when they would, and it burnt me on my face. When we was at Drew House, she was trying to let me heal, and so nobody would see me type stuff. And then let me see. Yeah, I don't know if I should go live with this because my thoughts be going in and out. But I be bound to tell the truth. That's the gospel. Come here. What's on your booty? Turn around. Get off your ass. What is it? Ugh, it was boo-boo. Gone. Watch out. But yeah, so after that trauma, I don't know why I didn't tell the CPS on Auntie Deborah so I could leave. Nene ended up coming out there. I ended up getting older, whatever the case may be. Time passed. I was a little Cinderella for them. Whole time I told on Auntie Janet, and I'm dying one day at school at Washington, and I guess I was in the youngest grade that they had back in the day, and nobody came to pick me up with Auntie Janet. I was truly dying, and they didn't think that I was dying. I think I was having like an asthma attack or something, and Auntie Janet came to pick me up, and I was just so well. Her and Auntie Deborah ended up getting in an argument about me. This is why I became You just, every time Sierra come around and Sierra, I got into it with my sisters because of you and da-da-da-da-da-da, you know, however the case may be. I was really dying that day, like, no lie. Yeah, I don't know what I would have did if Auntie Saturday came to save a nigga. 1 second. But, let me see. What you doing? What are you doing, Sasha? But further on down the note, Nene came out. When Nene came out here, it was like, it was different, you know. Shit was different. Dante used to always come. He always had a million different hoes. You get what I'm saying? And don't nobody, what happens in the family stays in the family, ass niggas. That's what Auntie Curl told me when I told her that I was touched by fucking Dante or whatnot. So I told that to Donna or something, or I told that to Donna. That's when Auntie Curl told me. She was furious that Auntie Curl said that, but it didn't matter because she was nasty herself. I ain't think about it till I got older. And so then he came out here. You know, we was bad. Let me tell you. We used to have to walk to school. But in between, before Nene came, I ended up having a little relationship with my cousin, Tay Tay, Markia, Lulu, you know, the ones that used to come over and try to save a nigga sometime. I hardly seen the Johnsons because they was out. We only seen them on holidays, so it was cool when we got to see them because they really was raised, you know what I'm saying? They just had to, however, they had to go to strip up their ass. They was just wild to wild, for real. And I do remember when Nene came out here, shit got different. I would say Dante started touching a nigga. I was still young though. And let me tell you how that started. He ended up, me and Nene, we going to the same school and shit like that. We walk to school every day. We do smoke weed. I don't know how we started smoking weed, whatever, we smoking weed. And that's why we like the Dante. Dante, he got the best cars, you know what I'm saying? The hoes and shit. Hoes bringing us to work. Hoes bringing us to school, wearing they first, smelling all good and shit, you know what I'm saying? Beating his own beat. Who don't want to pull up like that? After he high, getting high as a kite. It didn't really matter if a nigga was getting high because a hot boxer made a nigga high anyway. But Nene already knew about all that shit before she came out here. I think she was already having sex. She had the little stuff on her coochie that, you know, when your coochie's like, shit, it looked like she had a baby type shit when I went down. So yeah, I started humping. Me and Nene started humping, I guess. Or we was probably humping before. Or I don't know, she showed me how to use the vibrator. I don't know, however the case may be. But we was the same. We was about the same age, so. And it wasn't like it was unconsensual because we was humping. But it's different when you humping boys and when you humping girls. Well, I'll never forget eating any coochie and me really wondering, like, well, what is this skin right here? Anyway, anywho, out the gate, I ain't lose my virginity till I was 18. Well, I didn't choose to lose my virginity until I was 18. And I ended up getting pregnant to the guy who I did. Nope, to the second guy that I did. Nope, it wasn't the second, it was the third. Because first came Tremaine, and Tremaine, he wanted me to ditch school every day, and Auntie Deborah wasn't having that shit. Or we was at the big house. No, yeah, Auntie Deborah wasn't having that shit. I couldn't, was I at Auntie Deborah's house? What the hell that happened? Because I didn't turn till, that was when I turned 18, but let me go back a little sooner in there before I end up going to Auntie Sharon's house, because I ended up staying at Auntie Sharon's house for a while. But I do remember around that time I couldn't ditch school another day, you know what I'm saying? And he ended up calling me a bitch after taking my virginity to some silver satin and some weed. And and that was that. Then I ended up meeting Dante. I guess I was around the family a lot because I was at Janie's house at this time. So I kind of took little periodic steps at different places in the family. Mind you, Grandmommy had 10 kids, and it was just so much family around. And I guess it was like, well, I'm tired of it. I don't know, however the case may be, but I was spread the fuck around for real. You would think I was Miss Wonder Bread, motherfucking Miracle Whip, the way they was spreading me. Anyway, I even went to Cousin Miracle's house for a while. But Yeah, so back to when she beat me so bad, and we was at Drew house. She took me out of the city for a minute so nobody would know and all that. And I ended up finding a friend, and Auntie Deborah's like, "That is not your friend. That's a grown ass woman." I don't know if she was gay or she was discriminating against that or whatever, but she ended up buying us little best friend things. Auntie Deborah demolished that. I do remember going to my cousin's house, Rochelle, no, or cousin Rochelle or something. It was wonderful. Being with her daughter, I kind of experienced love at first hand because I think that was her only daughter at the time, and she had all kind of rings and things like that. We get up and cook breakfast. I'll never forget the good times, ins and outs. So I give her a little shout out. I even stayed times at my cousin Mika house. My cousin Mika house, she lived in Athens. She lived in Athens by my baby daddy, my first baby daddy. And that's immediately when I got pregnant. I was 18. What are you doing? Here, you want some water? Back up. Here. It's right here, Sauce. Yeah, and so, stop it! Yeah, so she ended up tearing that up, devouring the nigga dreams, however the case may be. Now, this is before Nene moved in, but when Nene moved in, she hit the fan. Nene used to fight back. She didn't have no respect for the elders. And she was kind of like a prime example that they would throw out. You don't want to be like da-da-da-da. Uncle Stanley ain't give a fuck. He lived in the camper. That's his motherfucking daughter. Back to when I used to steal Uncle Stanley crack and shit. And he found out one day that was the first whipping I ever got. Little did he know I'm giving it to Auntie Deborah, and Auntie Deborah taking it to the rows to split between her and the evangelist. Anywho, here, let me pour you some water on the top. Anywho, when Nene came out here, we was stealing. We had a corner store Auntie Deborah always used to let us go into. Now, I used to have this little backpack. I guess they let you do it. They let you steal a couple times before they figure out it's you, and then they catch you. On this day, we going in there, we going for the stealing shit. We in there going for the stealing of the stealing. Now, I don't know, I done racked up about $100 worth of stuff in my backpack, maybe $70 worth of stuff up in my backpack, not just mine. Nene there, I'm putting stuff in her backpack. So the first time I found out Nene was a snitch. We get to the front and we finna leave, whatever the case may be. We still buy the little twos and fews, and we end up telling us to empty out our bags. Nigga, they emptying it out. Shit just keep coming out. And emptying out the bag, it's just so much stuff coming out the bag. The man is like, so we didn't know if we was gonna go to jail or whatever. Maybe they wasn't gonna let us in the store that day. And Dante ended up popping up in the store. So he ended up kind of like being a little savior to us, because we in there. He like, oh, check this out. He always come in smiling, funny, a good looking guy. And he always like, he like, dang, however the case may be, he had hoes, big hoes, a hell of a lot of them. He was the money guy, He was the nigga that normally would give you the dollar or not. Pagan alert, pagan alert. Pagan alert, pagan alert. Get that motherfucker, Sauce. Go get that motherfucker. Anywho, so he ended up buying all the stuff, and also buying snacks and things to go into Auntie Deborah's house, because he knew we didn't have no food. Auntie Deborah was full of shit. I don't know how the hell we survived. So she'd cook, or she'd be waiting. She always babysit other people's kids, or she'd be waiting for them people to buy food and stuff. Now, Melina and Malaysia ended up coming living with us. That's more of Uncle Stanley kids sometimes, and every time, well, when their mama was in the shelter type stuff, they would come over there to our house, and every time she would bring hella food, more food than we ever had. Auntie Deborah would monitor everything, you know what I'm saying? Not saying Auntie Deborah ever bought stuff, because she did. For some reason, we survived. But, shit, my little cousins remember eating dog food, you know what I'm saying? My little cousins remember us in there starving like a Marvin, you know what I mean? And so anyway, Dante ended up buying all the stuff, and as he buying all the stuff, we feeling wonderful. He even buys some Black and Milds and shit. We getting to go get high. So he go buy the house, and he put Tampicos all in the refrigerator, maybe buy some candies and some meats and shit like that. Auntie Deborah in there, sleep, rub my leg, whatever the case may be. Long as Auntie Deborah was satisfied, she didn't give a fuck what happened to us. Dante probably go give her a couple of dollars or whatnot. I do remember, I do remember one Halloween Auntie Deborah was not gonna let us go trick-or-treating or something, and Dante ended up picking us up. I don't know, he made her happy however he made her happy. Maybe he knew she smoked Primos, maybe he slid some Primos to her, ain't no telling, but that was her happy place. She get to go hide out in her prayer closet and pray. You know, can't get hide in the eye. Anywho, he ended up taking care of her at some type of sort, and this is when Pulse first came out. I'll never forget, because he said he was gonna take us to the movies. Me and Nene go with him. He got his regular hoes, Myra and them. He was a different type of character, you know. And whoever he was pure in whoever he was, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing pure about that, but he was just a fucking asshole. And so he ended up taking us to, he ain't take us to the movies. He took us to a room, you know, we got to ride with him. You know, Nene got to wear some hoe clothes and shit like that, hoe furs and shit. So it was awesome at this point. At this point, it was awesome. And as, you know, we doing older shit. So, of course, as a younger child, it's like, nigga, we up with the big dogs, whatever the case may be. He done took us out the house. Now we out here free, smoking Black and Milds and drinking Hypnotic and shit. Never forget it. Whole time, he's a petty. You know what I'm saying? He was a pedophile. You heard what I'm saying? Because I want to say we was probably 12, maybe a little bit higher than that, possibly. But we was still in the youngest. We was maybe 13 or something. We probably 13 because we was in whichever grade that Washington Preparatory started. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how, you know, we was young still. That's all I do remember is us being young. And where was I at? And so, what is that? I be having so many downloads. I've been so much. I got to keep my stuff together. And I will blotch out my face, or, you know, add some type of something to it, so people don't try to rue it. But anywho, Father block it out. He ended up taking us to the room. I'm talking about, he used to get the sweets and shit. You know what I'm saying? He had money. His hoes was getting dough. You know what I'm saying? he had a Mexican one, a black one, Puerto Rican, Asian. He had every single kind of motherfucking hoe that you would know. And yeah, so he ended up taking us to this room. And while he taking us to this room, he doing a lot of moving in the bed. He telling us to get in the bed. Now, all he watches porn. We don't really, you know, that ain't the movie. That ain't what we watching. As soon as you get in the room, it's porn on. Even when he had his own place and he had his kids, he didn't give a fuck. Porn is just what it was. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, he got his kids some head at a young age. Ain't no telling. But anyway, he just kept doing a lot of moving. And as he moving, he touching me. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, Nene with me and she on the other side. I'm not knowing that he touching me and Nene at the same time. But what I did know is, I just knew something wasn't right, nigga. I wasn't ready to lose my virginity yet. I was quite scary. You know, I was there for the thrill, nigga, not there for the feel. And so, yeah, so I don't know, nights go on, we got a whole suite. For some reason, it couldn't have been one whole night, but we was out with Dante all night long, forever the case may be. He had all kind of vibrators, all kind of, nigga, every single kind of dildo you could ever imagine, shit like that. You know, just know that one of them motherfuckers that when you go, nigga, you go. And so, he in there touching me, and I know he touching Nene too. But Nene, I guess she enjoyed it on a different type of level type shit, because I ended up pulling her to the bathroom, mind you. This is before he actually took, you know, he actually fucking made the advance itself out in the open type stuff. I take Nene in the bathroom, and I tell Nene, like, nigga, is this nigga touching you? Because he touching me too. We could kind of like jump this nigga, get the car and shit. You could drive. I don't know. I was trying to tell her, like, nigga, let's get the fuck up out of here. This bitch go in there and tell him. I mean, this girl go in there and tell him. She go in there and tell him that what I said, that I, you know, that I might be a liability, you know, whatever the case may be. And so, I don't know what it was. I don't know if I ended up eating Myra coochie before. I was told to though, you know. I don't know if it was like, and however, I never Myra the one who taught me how to wash my coochie inside and out. She the one who actually took my virginity. Was one of Dante's hoes, and I don't know. I fell in love with hoes after that. I ain't even gonna stab. And so Dante ended up bringing me in there talking about, well, look, if you tell on this, I'm gonna tell that you ate Myra coochie and da-da-da. Like, nigga, I don't know how the fuck I was dropped in that catch-22. I had to be at some type of mind control for real. Mind you, Nene probably didn't pop this pill that I didn't see, you know, that they popping. I ain't into them type of drugs, but I guess it was like, if you tell on me, I'm gonna tell on you, and what you think gonna happen. However, it was a lot of manipulation in between. I never really had nothing to say, but I do remember bringing Nene to the bathroom before Myra played with my coochie with the vibrator. I guess because I didn't know how to clean it well, she showed me how to clean it after that. I ended up pissing all over the bed for real, and with her fingers, and I was really a virgin, truly a virgin. But before that, I remember Dante looking at me in the mirror while he'd tell Nene to go downstairs and do something, or he'd tell Nene to do something, and while he telling her to do something, he touching me. While he telling me to do something, he touching her. You know what I'm saying? And I remember him Nene going downstairs to go get Myra out the car or some shit, and he's looking at me in the mirror, and we looking at each other in the mirror, and he's like, you a virgin? And I'm like, yes, I'm a virgin. And I don't know if he put one finger in there or he tried to put a finger in there. And when he put the finger in there, I started moving. He like, no, you're not, because if you was a virgin, you wouldn't start moving. Well, nigga, it was uncomfortable. And after that, everything hit the fan. You know, all the other shit I just said type shit. I don't know how the fuck Myra got there, nigga. I'm trying to figure out what suite we was at. Whichever suite, it was a cool ass suite. We drinking hypnotic, and I don't know, Nene acting drunk. Well, Nene drunk and I'm acting drunk or some shit. I don't know. She probably wasn't drunk because I know she was popping pills that day. But the nigga kind of threatened me, so I never kind of told until we went to one trip in Yosemite, and I told Janari the things that was happening, you know, and the whole time she's secretly recording, you know, as if I'm gonna change up my story or as if I'm lying or something. And she go back to the whole family, and the whole family, you know, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? All I know is just like weird shit happened there. And tell that motherfucker, back your bald-headed ass up. Your time is up here. Bottom, come here, son. Your time is up. Pagan alert. Pagan alert. That's how you know them niggas sit around with their mask on being fucking weird. Come here. Pagan. Anyway, you gonna hear that a lot. I can't stand a motherfucking pagan sitting around trying to eat off your words and your stories. Tell a nigga to back down. These my shoes. You can't walk in these motherfucking shoes. Mask, no mask, bitch. Mask over face, we don't fit that description. Anywho, I'm gonna start a different video.